I'm Joy Rovaris.
What's up, world? I'm Nadji Jeter, and you are watching Quencie on
Studio Q.
Hey!
Studio Q show. Now you know.
What did it feel like to get this role?
Bigger than a dream come true, which at first I didn't even realize, because I've always wanted to play Whitney Houston as a little girl. You know, my mom played Whitney all the time, so for me that was the first artist I ever knew. And so I was like, you know what, we don't look like Whitney, we don't sound like Whitney, we might have to let that dream die. So when this opportunity came up and I read the script and I realized, oh my gosh, this is an opportunity to shed a light and honor Whitney Houston's favorite person in the world, you know, that's bigger than my dream. And so it was instantly personal, and I was like, God, please let me get it. And I got it, and so it just felt like this responsibility, you know, to tell her story. So.
And how did you prepare? Because, I mean, it'd be easy to prepare for Whitney. There's so much stuff out there about her. Right. But Bobbi Kristina, how did you prepare for her?
So what I did was I went back and I looked at Me and Bobby Brown, which, you know, I'd seen before, but this time I watched it as though I were Chrissy. So as though Whitney was my mom and Bobby was my dad. And I kind of lived through each scene as though this is mom and dad, and then I watched the Houston, and then I looked at her too to think of, oh, the comments, maybe the body shaming that she experienced. I plugged all of that in. And then I went into the Houstons on Our Own, and you really see this transition from little girl to young adult, young woman, and it makes sense. You go, oh, if you look at it from her point of view, it really makes sense. And then we were so fortunate to have her really good friends on set, and her best friend at the time of her passing, Alex Reed, she actually plays herself in the movie. She would have these crazy conversations and FaceTimes with Chrissy, and one of the last ones she had, Chrissy called her from a closet. Her and Nick had this major fight, and she was missing teeth and had bruises and just crying, and Alex shared that conversation with me, and so I just felt so grateful. And then we were literally in between scenes, so we went from that break to filming, and it shows you so many times we got chills on that set,
Well, I can't, you know, I gotta talk to you, Nadji. She just talked about being in the closet. No, I'm just saying, what did it take for you to get inside, you know, the character of Nick Gordon?
It was a lot of late nights, but it was a challenge. It was a challenge because, you know, you take a young man who definitely had a troubled background, and you just throw him into, you know, a family that has such a crazy spotlight on them, you know, with both mother and father, and then now daughter, you know. So he was definitely thrown into it at a young age. I think he came into their lives when he was 12 or 15. Yeah, so it definitely shows that. But getting into his mindset was interesting because, you know, he was the closest one to Bobbi Kris. The closest one knew her deepest secrets, knew all of that. And then also, you know, he was looked at as an enemy in the family, you know. So it was kind of like a balance of the two, trying to, you know, pick a love-or-hate relationship, but also make him likable to the audience, to see another side of Nick Gordon, to see what the tabloids don't talk about too. Yeah. So yeah.
Which our director, Ty Hodges, was really good at. He made sure we humanized every single character, because, you know, there's always a reason for what you do. And so he was really adamant about finding your reason for, you know, with me, that was one of the harder parts for me, was understanding Chrissy's love for Nick, because as Joy, I was like, so I had to really figure out, what did Chrissy love about him? And then with her friends and, you know, the people we were able to talk to, you realize, okay, so when it was just Whitney, Chrissy, and Nick, the three of them, and Whitney's having a low moment, and Chrissy kind of takes on that parental role. Now she has Nick there to help her. So Nick is here when we're at our lowest moments. My mom trusts Nick. My mom's not here anymore, Nick's still here, I'm clinging on to that for dear life, you know? And then when it turns romantic, without giving too much away, I understand that it's almost convenient, because I don't have to worry about my mom liking anybody else or trusting anybody else. My mom trusts him, he's charming as all get out, cute, okay, this works. And then you know, once you have that information, the rest just makes sense. You know, you can't judge it if you understand it.
Right. And when Whitney is gone, it's Nick and Bobbi Kristina.
That's it.
Anybody who followed
what's
them.
crazy, they're mimicking what they've
Whitney
seen
and
from
Bobby.
Bobby and,
You know,
Whitney. You know?
So they're the new Bobby and Whitney,
Yeah.
basically, because of what they've
Right.
seen.
For Chrissy.
Right, for Chrissy.
So what was your chemistry like together?
Crazy, we're still close. Like our whole cast too. I go to CBK with Viv all the time. Ty, our director, who's an actor's director, he was a child star, so he's like cast. He felt like cast too, but
yeah, everyone definitely had a strong connection. We all were definitely casted to the T. You know, I think because everyone just blended well so together with everyone that they were casted with and everything like that as well too, because everyone fit each character. So
and everybody, it was it was a passion piece for everybody.
Yeah,
So.
I love that because I got to meet Bobbi Kristina and Nick Gordon before, so I totally see perfect casting.
Yeah.
I totally see perfect casting. Now you mentioned Vivica Fox. Okay,
Yes.
Vivica is Don. Come on, she's a veteran.
She's an icon.
She's an icon in our
Legend.
community.
Yes.
love you.
And she said that Demetria McKinney really gave some Whitney vibes.
Yep,
Chilling. It was chilling.
And in New Orleans, we say when the food is good, you put your foot in it. Demetria put her both feet, all 10 toes in this part. Like she embodies Whitney very. It's insane. Like,
well, you talked about a moment where you were in the makeup room with Dimitri, and you guys felt otherworldly vibes.
oh yeah, filming behind, like she'll pick up the phone and say, "Hey, baby girl," and I get a little chill, you know, cause she'll do the Whitney when I was like, "Hey, mommy," you know, in my Chrissy voice.
Yes, that sounds like Christmas.
Yeah, no, it was spooky.
Every
We
time.
definitely had some spooky times.
And we
on
had
set,
like weird things. We were filming a bathtub scene, and I'm just kind of like zoned out. Chrissy had just lost Whitney, and we're on like the top of like 100 and something floor of the Queen and King building in Atlanta. And so these balloons fly behind my head like while we're filming, and they were purple. And one of the producers and Miss Robin from TV1, they come in and they go, "Did you see that? Did you see that? The balloons is purple." And they were like, "That's Chrissy's favorite color." And it was like a couple hours from her birthday when it happened.
We were filming on her birthday.
And just thinking about it.
When do we? Cause I kind of.
That's the thing too. We started on Whitney's anniversary
Okay,
and ended on Chrissy's birthday, and we weren't supposed to start or end on those days. That's just the way. It was a few things like this. So.
Wow.
Yeah, we kind of felt like, all right,
so while we were filming it, we were like, yeah, this is gonna be
y'all was in the zone.
Yeah, it took us a long time to get out of the zone.
Right.
I'm sure. Oh my goodness. What did you know about Bobbi Kristina before doing this role?
Just that this was Whitney's favorite person, and that she was in this spotlight. Honestly, my heart bled for Chrissy because I felt like Whitney's shoes were so huge. How could you ever fill those? So I learned a lot about Chrissy, and I think in the movie, you'll see it too.
You guys love Whitney. You guys love
we are Whitney fans. We are big time Whitney fans, and if anyone else in this world is Demetria, surely is a Whitney fan. To like the very hair, like no, fix this. It wasn't how Whitney had it. Like nobody on our cast, our network director is gonna let anything tarnish this legacy. We were so proud of it. For us, we honor it. We shed a light on a part of the legacy that no one knows about. Right. So it's so like a blessing.
And like you said, it was an honor.
And it was done with taste. We told the truth for what we knew to, but
took y'all behind
but nothing
doors
is exploitive. Yeah, you see Whitney at her lows, you see Chrissy at her lows, but you also see why. You see, okay, this just happened, that makes sense for her to be there. Right. You see that, and you see the love between them, because when Whitney was low, Chrissy had to be high, so you see the dynamic.
Well, talk about that relationship between Whitney and Chrissy and how you embody that with Dimitri.
Well, anytime Dimitri and I were on set, it was just like, cut, and then we're like, oh, we did something. Like, that's how it felt so surreal. I can't explain it, but when Dimitri would have her low Whitney, she was so Whitney, I was just Chrissy. Like, I just felt like, okay, I have to take care of Mom. And I get chills thinking about it, but it feels so much like them. You bleed for Whitney, your heart bleeds for Chrissy because, she had to grow up sooner than maybe you would want, but Yeah. Ugh, it's real.
You watch Demetria just walk around and she's just having her mannerisms, just the shaking of her hand, holding a cigarette. Like, it's just the littlest things like that she really embodied and really showed. And, you know, she captured that to the T. And that's why I think she kind of helped us really get all into that headspace as well, because, you know, without Whitney, none of this.
She was the glue.
You know,
and the story, you see it unfold as they lose the glue.
Right.
Exactly. That's when the shift happens.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's when the that's when the shift happens.
You see it all go down.
And Vivica Fox, who plays Auntie Pat, you see her character try to step in and kind of be the glue. And Nadji does such a good job. There was a few times where Viv was like and he was like, hold on, Viv.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all gonna hate me.
Like, oh no. She's like, I'm sorry.
Well, segueing to the part about the abuse, because you said there were a lot of subtle ways that showed abuse. What kind of message do you think that the audience can take away from seeing that?
Well, our movie, the abuse isn't so subtle. Okay. You see it.
But I'm talking about how it begins.
Yes,
and
it definitely grows. You're right. Yeah, in the beginning, it's almost like it's so subtle that it kind of smacks you in the head by the time it's in your face. And I mean, he does such a good job. He had to send me to the spa a few times. I was telling the other girl because we would do these scenes and we're just all in it, and then it's like cut, and I'm like flowing across the room.
Oh wow!
Then we get the tape. He's like, we got it. I'm like, all right,
Sometimes I had to pick Joy up. She's just over there in the corner. Oh no! What happened?
It's for Chrissy.
They're
like, can you do it again? One more time.
I had to take care of my Joy.
Yeah, so you see, he's so charming. And he was so right in the right spots exactly at the right time. So you understand why she fell for him.
I mean, where'd you pull from? You have a Master of Fine Arts degree. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, you know, there's a lot of people walking around here, so a lot of them don't have an education. So how did that impact, you know?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. You know, I know your parents, you know, educators, so.
Yeah, they are. They're educators, and that was one of the requirements. In order for me to pursue acting, I had to have a backup plan, which turned out to be communications. And then they were like, now you can go for, if you want to do a master's in acting, you can do that. Which I'm so grateful for, because I learned so many different techniques. Like, I feel like I have a little book of how to tap into a different character. And I think Chrissy and I being the same age, and you feel like you know the Houstons, you know, you feel like you know Whitney and Bobbi Brown. So with all my little, I guess, techniques of plugging in the role and then having the information and feeling so personal, it just kind of clicked.
And I'm not trying to leave you off the hook, because Quencie Jones said you was like the little Michael Jackson.
She did her research. She did her research.
Come on now.
She did her research.
Going and dancing with Usher. Come on.
Yes, Throwback Thursday.
Because I'm too woke.
Right. Okay.
That's so funny.
So how did that, you know, allow you to, you know, because you were, you know, a dancer. For Quencie Jones to say that he knows Michael Jackson. Okay.
Right.
So how do you leap into acting and, you know, listen to your parents and who persuaded you to move to LA to jump into it?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. Left there when I was like 10 years old. But yeah, so I mean, before I came out here, I was dancing and doing music. Music was my first passion. You know, I was Harry the Hawk for age 7 to age 10. So that was throwing me into 90,000 people at age 8 years old, coming home from school, and then, you know what I mean? So I was kind of like low-key programmed really early, you know what I mean, to get prepared for this life and what I'm into now. So I think it all kind of planned out well. I left Atlanta 10 years old and then came out here and then started rocking and rolling.
Nice. Yeah. And now you
got my own record label now.
Got your own record label.
Been waiting to throw that.
Yes.
Hey, my own record label, 2 Woke Records, y'all. Spiritual Warfare EP coming soon, and then visuals and all that come to y'all soon.
Wrinkle in Time, Ava DuVernay.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes,
yeah,
okay.
So,
well, I mean, you got to feel Ava's spirit.
Oh my gosh! Wait, let me just like black girl magic wand, like her being is just a wand.
Yeah, can I just be in the hallway when she walked by?
I'm telling you, I booked this part working under Ava, so it was just like the two weren't related. I think you just exude this confidence of like, I'm working around Ava, I'm good. You know, like,
and then boom, you're starring in Bobbi Kristina.
Exactly, yep.
You know, and then, I mean, this is Whitney Houston's greatest love of all.
Yeah, so I'm so honored, so grateful.
I think she's definitely taking this role with great respect and great love and great honor, because you know Whitney Houston is Whitney Houston. You know, everyone, to every young girl, to me, no matter what race, but you know, she's more into the African American community, but to every young woman out there, right? Yeah. She's just oversees everything.
I mean, she's actually one of
a queen, a goddess, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, the top notch. Yeah. So you know, Joy killed it. She killed it. She did her thing.
Last question. Yeah. Why should we tune in to watch Bobbi Kristina this Sunday?
Well, for me, because that's what she wanted. She wanted her voice to be heard, and this is our way of showing you her voice. And she passed, unfortunately, so soon. So I feel like anything we can do to kind of honor or kind of like bring back some of that legacy, we have a responsibility to. Yeah.
Well, thank y'all for loving Whitney and loving her baby girl.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, that keeps the legacy going.
Yep.
Studio Q Show, now you know.